Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are we getting on? Welcome back to another episode of Through the Keyhole. So today we've got 4 more new camp builds to have a look at that I've found through the player vending system in Fallout 76. And as usual, the plan is to take a look, get a little bit of inspiration, and try and avoid being overly critical or anything like that. And if you guys are interested in submitting your own builds to appear in the series, then you should be able to find all the details down in the description as well. Submissions are, of course, still open, so I look forward to seeing what you guys have got. For now, let's jump in and take a look, shall we? Okay, so this first build's down in the Cranberry Bog. We're literally right across from Woodsoga Station here. Nice and easy to access. Easy place to sell anything you want to get rid of. And I really like the use of angles in this build. It really breaks up any boxiness, creates a very different visual style, which is really cool. It's good use of the angled roof pieces and things like that. So we've got a few decorations on the outside, not so many on the inside, but nice little workshop here using the barn pieces. Unfortunately, we can't get inside. The door is locked, but we can have a peek through the windows nonetheless. Plenty of signs out front, lots of lighting to catch the eye and invite people over, which is cool. I like the fact they've used the little, I don't know what you call that, minaret maybe? Little hut on the top of the roof there. It's something that you don't see used an awful lot. It's a bit unfortunate it's in front of the windows, but it's quite cool. A few good angles. Not a vast amount of decoration on the inside, but a few bits and pieces. Plenty of stash boxes, things like that. Little area to chill out in. Generator's a little open to the air, but connecting those wires can be a bit of a faff, so it's a little hard to work around. Reasonable use of mixed materials there. The brick texture breaks up the white plaster a little bit, which is nice. Not the biggest fan of the positioning of the player vending machines there. Unfortunately, they're kind of in the way, although they're nice and easy for any players who come to visit to access, but it is a little bit awkward to manoeuvre around. Couple of little sleeping areas upstairs. Again, would like to see a little bit more decor up here. Maybe closing off that top bit of the wall as well, but everything you need. Plenty of space for people to have a kip. I'd probably have closed off the roof over the generator there as well. You sort of see through it from the windows, but it works. Nice, simple, and a very striking shape to this build, which I really, really like. It's cool. Very welcoming from the outside. Pity those 2 posters on the front door aren't illuminated. I think they need a little bit of wiring work there, but otherwise it's very, very cool. Nice little Cranberry Bog build. This next one is over by the Monorail tracks. It's not far from Fort Defiance, and it's actually a very, very popular place to build. There's a lot of people come here because there's I think it's a junk node that's behind this particular post. So I've seen quite a few different builds that incorporate this post, which is cool. In fact, there's more and more people seem to be using existing structures lately, which is really, really cool to see. But I think this is probably the best build I've ever seen in this location, and I've seen quite a few, so it's really, really cool to see. Nice little, easy-to-access player vending area. I imagine it's a bit of a problem when they get attacked, but I have a feeling most of the spawn points are on the other side of this structure, this monorail tower, I suppose, so that's something. Easy to see what you're after if you're arriving for the player vending. I really like the way they've managed to build into and plug up the gaps of the tower here. It's really well done, that's cool. Little rolling garage doors who give us access to the internal area. All the workbenches you need down by the entrance here, which is good. Nice and easy to access for anybody who stops by. The one drawback to this is that the upstairs area that we'll see in a second is really, really cool. But unfortunately, most of the usable items and the important things are down on the lower level. It's convenient, but it means you've got no reason to go upstairs and see the cool part on the inside. But nonetheless, we're going to have a poke around in a moment. Nice access up to the upper level here. I imagine this took some time to get the levels right. But it does work very, very well. Personally, I think I'd have gone with more of a guard post type feel for this entranceway, but it does work. There we go, we see the junk extractor down the bottom there. Yeah, I'd have gone with a bit more of a guard post vibe, but as a secure entrance to the upper level, it works quite well. Nice secure base I've got going on here. Flags to welcome us in. Nice vault boy there. Nice little view out from the top here. Don't know what the range is like on this turret, but it certainly covers the crops I've got down below. Deal with any mole rats that pop up, I'm sure. Going around the inside, which is really where this comes to life. Really, really cool in here. Very, very small space, but they've crammed in a lot of decoration, a lot of really good lighting, like the green light at the top there, the cycling light. It really gives it a lot of character, which is cool. That's sort of a corridor feel to the shape of the thing, but sort of city living almost in the middle of Appalachia, which is cool. I really, really like this vibe. Done a really good job of enclosing it. You can see the way the angled wall pieces up there and the roof kind of almost join up with the existing tower, which is really nicely done. I assume all these floor pieces are upper floor pieces rather than foundations. I don't think you'll be able to clip foundations in here. Taking a lot of patience to get these lined up at the right height, but it's very, very cool. Nice little balcony area to hang out on. Apart from the brewing stations, not a lot of cores to come up here, which is a bit unfortunate, but it is a very, very cool build. And you've got a nice view to fire down on any attackers. Decent lookout over the Cranberry Bog there as well. I've closed up the rough edges of the tower with the wall pieces there, which I really, really like. And it follows the curve of the tower as well, which is cool. And we'll have a look at how well closed off this is. It's a really, really good integration, this. I like it a lot. Very, very impressed by this. Plus plenty of decoration. Everything's kind of squeezed in, but you can still move around it, which is cool. It could easily become too cramped very, very quickly, but the player has managed to avoid that. I'm particularly impressed with this build, I have to admit. Definitely one of my favourites so far. A little swing back downstairs. The corpses of a few dogs that decided to attack upon my arrival. As always, we've got to do the neighbourly thing and defend their base for them if they're not home when we're having a poke around. Seems only fair. I've seen quite a lot of players using the concrete defensive walls to enclose this back area, actually. It seems to be quite a popular design, that. Works well. Gives you a good bit of space out the back here without having to worry about dogs and radstags and whatever else getting in and attacking your crops, things like that. So mole rats, of course, still can just pop up from under the ground there. But that's what the turrets are for. Yeah, I would like to see a bit more support maybe for that balcony, although there's not really a viable way of doing it apart from posts going all the way to the ground, which wouldn't have looked great. So swings and roundabouts, I suppose, but it does work and it looks very, very cool. Looks like it belongs, which is easier said than done in 76, which is very, very impressive. I like this a lot. Good build. On to build number 3. This is a more recent find. It's a quite common location to build. It's not far from the top of the world and the train station just there. There's an acid resource, I believe, in the water there. For this particular build, they've just got water purifiers in. Nice use of mixed materials, which I really like. And I think one of my favourite things about this build is the way the trees that you can't scrap, like this big green conifer, I suppose, tree right here that you can see, kind of works with the build. It makes the build feel like it belongs in the environment, which is really, really cool. Wiring is a little bit untidy, and there's a random pressure plate on the right there, which I have no idea what that does, but there nonetheless. It is a bit of a constant battle trying to tidy up your wiring with 76 in particular. It wasn't so bad when we had the wire glitch of Fallout 4, but it's not so viable for 76, which is a little unfortunate. But we've got the garage door as a main entrance here. It's actually a little bit difficult to get out of this build, which is, I mean, I'm sure it's fine for the player who lives here, because theoretically nobody else needs to go inside the building. But I did get kind of stuck for a while. It took me a while to figure that one out. Got a little sort of garage entrance for the power armor there. The camp unit sat on the top of the little cabinet there. Come into the kitchen. And I really, really like how thoroughly and densely decorated this build is. There's a lot of furniture packed in. It feels very, very lived in, like somebody's been here quite a long time, which is cool. We could have a little bit more junk decoration, which they've done the best they can, I think, with what we've got available, which is cool. But it would be nice if you could have a bit more junk decoration. A little door on the lower level leads out to where the player vending is, and it's basically the only way out. So I think I jumped off the balcony in the end. As unfortunately that door is locked, so compared to a sort of living room, which is really, really nice. Normally, I don't like those orange shag pile carpets. Not a fan of the white ones either, because the texture's not particularly high quality. It really works in here with the decorations I've got in and the colour of the furniture and things like that. So, it's a nice build here. The mixed materials working well as well. Nice powered door here. Step up close and on the pressure plate and we can get in. And we have a little crafting space, which is really, really nicely done. They've managed to bring a good bit of character in here, which is quite impressive. The nuclear winter stash boxes around, got some display units, even got a chair by the ammunition bench, which is quite cool. Really good attention to detail, like it a lot. Something for me to bear in mind, I think, with the decoration. A lot of detail, a lot of stuff squeezed in. I tend to build buildings big, and that tends to limit their decoration, which is unfortunate. I might have to try and restrain that impulse for some future builds. Unfortunately, on my first nose around this place, I locked this door behind me, or rather I closed it, and it had a lock on it, so I had to pick up a bounty as I picked that lock, but I really wanted to include this in the video, so I had to take the hit on that one, and it caused all hell to break loose while I was trying to get rid of it. Ended up aggravating robots at the White Springs, mostly because I ran into a few legendary enemies while I was looking for players. Eventually managed to get somebody to shoot me and claim the bounty so that I could see other players on the map, because you can't use player vending when you've got a bounty. Well, you can, but you can't see where the camps are on the map, which is unfortunate. Made recording this video a little bit more difficult for a while. But have a look inside. We've got a nice little bedroom on the upper level. Some of the display cases are in use already. Got a gun up on the wall there. I like the bunk beds. I've never actually got the plans for them yet, so that's something I have to keep an eye out for, but they're really, really cool. They work in this space. Plenty of space for a group of players to hang out and get some kip. Got that XP bonus from being well rested. Nice little bathroom, something I also forget a lot of the time. Still need a sink though. Unfortunately we don't have one in the game yet, which is slightly frustrating. Nice little office space in the corner. Quick look out on this balcony as well. Yeah, it's definitely something I'd like to see Bethesda add in to the appliances tab, that. A little sink to complete the bathrooms with. A little bit of difficulty closing the door with no UI on, but there we go. Head back out onto the other balcony and take a look at the back of the building one last time. Good use of the potted plants that I've added in the atomic shop recently. Just drop over the edge here, make sure to avoid taking any damage. Nice brightly illuminated vending area. Draws the eye and invites you in, which is cool. Simple and effective. So that's by the back door there. And that's basically your only way out if you're the player. You can't actually open that garage, the inner doors of the garage from the inside, which is one thing I would change, but otherwise quite nice use of mixed materials. Maybe put a little support on that corner there, but yeah, nice build altogether. Very, very well decorated. I was very impressed with that. And on to the last one. As I mentioned before, we've got more players working with existing structures lately, which is really, really cool to see. We've got a bit of floating on this build, which is unfortunate. We're up by the new River Gorge resort, and this sort of front section of the build, this I don't know what to call it, veranda, sort of a summer house almost, is an existing structure that they've worked into the build, which is really nice. Used the back of a couple of shelfie units there to create a sign, which is good thinking. They are floating a little bit, obviously with the roof being angled, but it actually still works somehow, which is quite cool. A couple of little outbuildings here, a little outbuilding rather. A little bathroom on the underside of this. Personally, I would have put, I think, a ceramic toilet in there, or a bath or something like that, or both, rather than using the porta cabin there, given that it's already inside, but it works. They've actually got a bathroom, which is oft overlooked, usually by me. And the trees have come back through the bath there, which is presumably intended to be a water trough for the Brahmin, which is good thinking. But interesting the way it seems to have spawned back through it. Had some character though. Looks like it's been there for a long time. Nice little crafting space here. Got everything you need. Not quite sure why that roof is in the corner there rather than a floor piece, but that is how I came to notice the bathroom in the first place, so it is what it is. It was useful in that regard. A few crops out front by the tree that kind of blend in with all the undergrowth there, which is quite cool. It looks like they belong there. It makes them look wild. This little area, all the benches were already in place. I've just added a few chairs and things like that. Had a little bit of a mongrel problem when I arrived. Player vending out here as well. It incorporates quite nicely. Built a little set of improvised steps to get into the building that they've added onto the back of the structure here, which is cool. Through the decontamination arch. Personally, I think if they could have put a rug down or something like that to cover the gap between this building and the existing one, it might have stopped you sort of falling into the gap, which you don't really fall through, but it does make you feel like you're going to, so that's something they could address. Nice little bar area here. It is a cafe build after all. Seats. And we'll head down to the lower level. Again, they've used roof pieces here where perhaps I might not have done, but fine. It breaks up the wooden texture, so that's always a welcome addition. Spinning wheel and a piano. Can't do much about the tree branches, unfortunately. Not quite sure why they've used the half walls here. I'd have closed this gap up with the full height ones, but it may be that they wouldn't snap in, so that could be the reason. Either way, the bottom of the foundations makes a kind of feature there, so it works. And a cracking view from this back balcony. That's where we started off over there. So we're looking over the top of flatwoods. You can't really see the flatwoods for the trees, but it's a really great view from this location, so nice place to be camping. Take a little swing back inside. The fish lamp there, which is a cool little addition. I like that one. Fortunately, this back end of the building is floating off the edge of the cliff, which is not ideal, but sometimes you've got to do what you got to do. Strange little hanging piece of wall there from the ceiling, which I don't really know why they've gone for that. I might not have done, but fine. It sort of encloses the bar area, I suppose, so that's quite cool. Yeah, all in all, a very cool little build. Very nice to see people adding to existing structures. Coming, as I say, more and more common. I've seen a lot more people doing it, which is really cool. Turret's in an effective place if it's a little floaty, but what I might do, I might have built a turret emplacement personally. There we go. Yeah, some really creative, really cool builds here, and I do hope you guys enjoyed that one. I've certainly found some interesting inspiration myself. If you did like the video, please do consider hitting those buttons for me. It's always very, very much appreciated. If you'd like to submit your builds to appear in the series, as I said before, you can find all the details down in the description, so please do do that. I look forward to seeing what you guys have got for us. Social media links, as usual, down in the description as well, if you want to catch up with me on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. Do keep an eye out for the live streams as well. Having a lot of fun playing the game. We've very, very nearly got through the Vault Raid this week, me and Skyrim Lord, but third time's the charm, hopefully next week. Hopefully I'll be able to get myself kitted up and ready to go for that one in time. For now, thank you very much for watching. If you're really enjoying the content, please do consider becoming a channel member as well. The support is hugely appreciated. And I look forward to speaking to you all very, very soon.